Good morning and welcome to the center Sunday service. And this morning we're going to do the meditation first. After meditation, Venerable Pannaloka is going to give a Dhamma talk. After the Dhamma talk, question and answer. After that is going to be a chanting. So today the meditation is going to lead Reverend Chandasara. Chandasara, you can lead the meditation right now.
Paying homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. This is the time to spread loving kindness towards all the living beings. Let's do metta meditation in a very simple way, and I'm giving a space gap to spread loving kindness. Therefore, I'm going to focus on only three kinds of thoughts or statement so that you have enough time to practice loving kindness meditation. I'm taking these statements from or insight from the Karaniya Matta Sutta. First one is Sukhino. So we have to wish, may all the living beings be physically healthy. Kemino, may all the living beings free from external danger or difficulties, discomforts. And finally, may all the living beings be psychologically or mentally healthy. So let's spread loving kindness meditation thus. And I will repeat only once, and after that you can continue until you hear the bell sound. May all the living beings be physically healthy, well. May all the living beings be free from external danger. May all the living beings be mentally healthy. Let's continue meditation.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now, Venerable Pannaloka is going to give a Dhamma talk. He's in his room right now. I think he's ready. Pannaloka, can you hear me?
Yes, Bante, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right. You can start your talk.
Hi, everyone. Very good morning to everybody. I'm really happy to see you all again. I meet you like this once in a month, maybe once in 2 months. So it's a pleasure for me to share my knowledge with you. We are storytellers. We like stories. I would like to start my talk today with a very wonderful story. You can find this story in one of the original texts in the Theravada tradition. This story goes like this. I will first tell you the story, and then I will tell you the place where you can find this story. One day, a Brahmin, he wanted to meet the Buddha. He was living in a village in India time, and he was a reputed Brahmin. He belonged to a upper class Brahmin family in India. Meanwhile, he heard the reputation of the Buddha also. When the Buddha was wandering from village to village, from city to city, he came to this Brahmin's village, and he was also residing. Buddha was also residing in one of the nearest places of this Brahmin. And first, this Brahmin, even though he wanted to meet the Buddha, his followers, his students, they didn't allow him to meet the Buddha, and they said that it is not the Brahmin who should go to meet the Buddha, it is the Buddha who should come and meet the Brahmin, because he had such a reputation throughout the whole India at that time. And this Brahmin, after having a discussion with his followers, his students, finally he decides to meet the Buddha. So when he went to meet the Buddha, Buddha asked him the very first question. Easy. The first question is very easy. Buddha asked the first question like this: what is a Brahmin? The Brahmin, he was happy. He was going through a lot of ecstasy, because he had earlier heard that Buddha was such a person that he can challenge anyone's knowledge, anyone's wisdom, because he was such a knowledgeable person, intelligent person. So this Brahmin was a little bit confused about how to face the Buddha, how he should, have this discussion with the Buddha. Anyway, when the Buddha asked the first question like this, what is a Brahmin? He was really, really happy, because he already knew the answer for that question. For a Brahmin to be eligible for representing a higher status in the society, he needs to be qualified with 5 essential qualities. This is mentioned in many places in the original text of the Theravada tradition and many sutras also. Anyway, he said to the Buddha like this: Buddha, our tradition admires these great qualities, these 5 great qualities of a Brahmin a lot. We place these 5 great qualities in high esteem in our religious texts, in our religious beliefs, in our education, our orthodox, our culture. So Buddha, no one can discredit this teaching. So we, the Brahmins who advocate, even the kings, the rulers of the country, are the best, are the highest noble people. No one can challenge our teachings. So this is all about, Brahmin supremacy that prevailed at that time in India. Anyway, when the Buddha asked the first question, like, what is a Brahmin? And the Brahmin, he answered the Buddha like this: a man needs to belong to a Brahmin family first. He must prove his birth to 7 generations. This is all about the caste purity. So he went on to saying, like, Buddha, I'm clean in my family lineage. I'm the best person. I belong to the upper class Brahmin family in this country. Why? Because I'm coming from an upper class Brahmin family. My parents are also coming from upper class Brahmin family. My grandparents are also coming from upper class Brahmin family. So are my great grandparents. So my family lineage is clean, descending back to 7 generations. Wonderful. Then, Buddha, that's the first one. Then the second one is a person who needs to be a Brahmin in our tradition. He needs to be fully well-read and educated in our religious texts, mantras, and many subjects. I'm fully educated, Venerable Gautama, Buddha. I'm well-versed person. I'm a well-educated person. I have studied, a lot of mantras. I have studied many subjects in this world. And that's the second one. All right. What is the third one? A person who needs to be a Brahmin, he needs to have a handsome look. Wow, I'm a handsome person. I'm a beautiful person. I'm an elegant person. I'm just like a celebrity in Hollywood. And that's the third one. And what's the fourth one? A Brahmin needs to have a moral character. A Brahmin needs to have the wisdom. He must have the wisdom also. So those are the 5 great qualities a Brahmin should fulfill to become a Brahmin, a perfect Brahmin in our society and our culture. Now you can understand this is all about his orthodox tradition, and that's what he believes. And then the Buddha asked the question again like this: could any of these qualities be left out and a person still be considered to be a Brahmin? Brahmin took some time and he answered the Buddha's question like this: since the appearance is relatively unimportant, Brahmin, he ignored the look of a person, and he said that he said that it does not matter. Appearance, a look of a person does not matter that much. Then the Buddha continued to ask the same question: could anything else be left out from these 5? You ignored the first one, the beauty of a person, the appearance of a person. So can anything else be left out from this list? Then he further ignored the literacy of mantras. Remember, the Brahmin, he answered the Buddha's question saying that I have well read, I'm knowledgeable in mantras and many subjects. Then he ignored this literacy of mantras and many subjects, and he said that no, it's not also that much important, Buddha. Then he ignored the third one also. He said, no, the birth also does not matter that much. Finally, like this, the Brahmin, he admitted that the appearance of a person is of no importance. Knowledge of mantras, many subjects is also of no importance. And birth also does not matter. And now he has ignored 3 essential qualifications among these 5 qualities to be fulfilled by a Brahmin. And Buddha went on questioning like this again: can anything else be left out from these last two? Now you have ignored, you have omitted 3 qualifications. All right, can we leave out the last 2, the sila, morality, and the wisdom, panya? The answer was amazing. The Brahmin, he said that, no, sir, they go hand in hand. One cannot go without the other. Just like we might need to wash hand with the other hand, food with the food, wisdom is purified by morality, and morality by wisdom. So if you need to find this story, you can find it in the Digha Nikaya. This has been translated into English like Dialogues of the Buddha, Volume 1. So you can refer the PTS edition, Pali Text Society series of books. That's the edition. So the page number is 137 and 159. The sutta number is 4th one. This sutta is called Sonadanda Sutta. That's the name of the sutta, because this called Sonadanda. His name is Sonadanda, Sonadanda, Sonadanda. And after when the monks compiled the suttas, they named this sutta like Sonadanda Sutta by following the Brahmin's name, Sonadanda. So you can find this in, even if you are interested in finding in the internet, you can Google search this and you can find many translations. Very easy. You can find this sutta. So now the Brahmin, he said that no, we can't eliminate these last 2 factors, morality and wisdom. And he said, if let me share with you how he put it in his own words in the sutta. The Brahmin Sonadanda, he says like, wisdom is purified by morality, and morality is purified by wisdom. Where there is morality, wisdom is there. And where there is wisdom, morality is there. To the person with morality, there is wisdom. To the wise, there is morality. And wisdom and goodness are declared to be the best thing in the world. All right, this is the story. And my topic for the day is, sila, morality, and meditation. That's why I shared this story with you today. And what is actually all about this, sila? So you can find many translations like moral practice, good character, moral conduct, morality, virtuous behavior, a lot of translations. Whatever the way it has been translated into English, I mean this term sila, S-I-L-A, this is the word that you can find in the Pali language, sila. And it means like self-restraint of a person's 6 gateways of senses. We have 6 senses, 6 sense doors. So if a person is willing to continue his practice through the self-restraint of these, 6 senses, we can call it like the sila. When it comes to the monks' discipline and the laity's discipline, we can find many precepts. Whatever the numbers are that we can find in precepts, sila, morality, or virtuous life means, a self-restraint. This is what it means. And since you all are familiar with now about Buddhist teachings, whether it is Mahayana or Theravada, and especially in Theravada tradition, you can find the 8 Noble Path. And in this 8 Noble Path, you can find the elements related to this sila, like right speech, right action, and right livelihood. All these three factors are, dealing with the sila, the morality. So for a Buddhist monk, for a monk with the high ordination, he has a lot of precepts. I have the high ordination, and I don't know how I should practice these, precepts. There are a lot of precepts, especially for a monk with the high ordination. And in Theravada tradition, they have more than they have 227 precepts. For the novice monks, they have only 10 precepts. Very easy. But for the monk who is with the high ordination, he has to practice 227 precepts. It's not easy, but I'm trying my best. Okay. For the laity, they have their own precepts. This is what I want to tell you, like, whatever the numbers are for the laity and for the monks, for the monastics, the overall meaning of sila means, the self-restraint. That's it. And the Brahmin, he presented the fifth one like the wisdom, panya, P-A-N-N-A, panya. And, wisdom means it is the inquisitiveness of your mind to see things clearly, vividly. This has a lot of meanings in the Theravada context, and even in Mahayana tradition. When it comes to the word panya, the wisdom. So wisdom can be the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, and arising and decaying in this world. Like this, it has a lot of meanings, but I would like to present it here in my talk like it is the inquisitiveness of your mind to see things in this world very clearly. So with this, I would like to say some more things relevant to my topic, sila and the meditation. So how does sila contribute to Buddhist-based mindfulness for practicing this true path? Is the sila essential in gaining happiness and comfort for a short period of time? If you practice the meditation or whatever the mindfulness, let me tell you, it depends on your goal. This depends on a person's goal, right? If the person wishes no more than relaxation, a temporary happiness, peace in thoughts, when practicing the meditation, then that would be okay to practice meditation without sila. Why I'm saying like this? Because modern day secular mindfulness programs are based on this fact. Their goal is not the final liberation, nibbana. So some people, when they came to IBMC before the COVID-19, and when they met me, and sometimes they have told me like, Bhante, I'm not concerned about the nibbana. I don't want that. I just want to listen to some Dhamma talks, and I want to practice meditation. It doesn't matter whether it is for 10 minutes, half an hour. I want to practice the meditation and see how I can use it in my life. I'm not concerned about the nibbana. Let it go. Okay. Their concern is not the final liberation and the nibbana. So what is their concern then? What is the idea? Their interest is to see how mindfulness can be used as a way of supporting people to alleviate their daily suffering. But the truth is, if the person goes after sense pleasure, there is no end for that. It's a never-ending journey. That's why it has been given us such a recognition. Such an importance in the traditions in Buddhism, in Theravada texts. So sense pleasure does not have an end. It's a never-ending journey. So complete destruction of defilement is the fruition of the path in Buddhism. But if a person wishes to practice meditation, maybe for 10 minutes, maybe for 30 minutes, that's up to him. That's his choice. He can practice it without taking precepts. But remember, earlier I told you, like, sense pleasure does not have an end. Why? Because the defilements are flooded into our minds in torrential amounts, right? This happens in every moment. So why does this happen? If our sense doors are open, it's quite clear, because our sense doors are not secured. They are not protected. So experiencing the world through these senses is always based on contact. Senses are stimulated by contact, and contact leads to feelings, vedana. Feelings could be pleasurable, like, it could be pleasurable, it could be painful, and it could be neutral. So in one way, feeling leads to craving, craving then causes attachments. So everything is interrelated. When there is sense experience, contact is impossible. Okay, so when there is contact, our senses are always stimulated in every moment, in every second. So that's why I told you those factors are interrelated, interdependent. So with this, I would like to come to an end of my today. Since my topic was Sila and meditation, if your goal is to achieve the final liberation, Nibbana, you of course have to practice the Buddhist-based mindfulness. The sati, mindfulness being based on Sila. You have to practice a kind of morality. You have to safeguard your faculties, sense doors, because they are always stimulated in every moment in this world. So with this, I would like to tell you why our sense doors are stimulated. I wanted to share with you another story. This is one of my experiences. In Los Angeles, I met a person, and he came to me. And sometimes, when people see me in this robe, like, they ask me a lot of questions. What the heck is wrong with you? You have shaved your head, and you are wearing a different cloth, and it's not normal. You are really, really wonderful person, and why you are like this? And this person also, one day he came to me, and I know him, and he came to me, and he asked me a lot of questions, and he asked me the question like, what the heck is wrong with you? Why don't you go to nightclubs here in Los Angeles? Why don't you try to meet girls? Why do you stay confined to this way of life? You see, look at your robe, look at your dress, look at your head. You are a wonderful person, and of course you are still a young man, and you can meet nice girls, and you can have a nice time with them. Like this, he asked me a lot of questions, and I was really happy to answer his questions. And he's a wonderful person. He's a nice person. I really like him. My answer was, all right, that's your choice. That's your life. This is my life, and I'm happy with my life. That's what I told him. Why? Because I don't want unnecessary troubles in my life. I don't want more suffering. That's why I don't want to go to the nightclubs, and I don't want to meet the girls. And finally, that was his how he asked me the questions, and finally he went away. And after a few weeks, he came to meet me again, and he asked me some help from Buddhist meditation. Then when I asked him why he needs the support from the Buddhist meditation, he was worrying a lot about thinking that he was HIV infected. And he asked me support from Buddhist meditation, but I asked him immediately to see a doctor instead of seeking help from meditation. I told him to take a test for HIV. And but he was confused. He was worrying a lot. But I told him, please be patient. You can go and meet a doctor, go for a test, and get the results. And that's it. First, we have to do. Then, finally, he went for the HIV, test, and he found that he was fine. And why I wanted to say this experience with, share this experience with you, since I'm happy with my way of life, I don't have to worry about HIV test because I didn't want more suffering. I'm safe. I'm fine. So I have no worries. That's one way of, practicing Sila. And of course, since I'm a monk with high ordination, I'm supposed to practice some precepts. I can't violate them, but I think I'm happy. I'm happy with this life, and that's why I'm staying like this. So if you do not, take care of your senses, and there's a lot of, chances to, for your mind to get invaded by, taints, defilements. So that's why it has been given such a big reputation, big place, a high esteem place in the so no one can neglect the importance of Sila. It depends on your goal. That's what I wanted to tell you. If your goal is to practice the true path and find the final liberation, you have to practice Sila, morality in your life. Finally, I want to tell you whether there are a lot of precepts for the monastics, and there are only very few precepts for the laity. But the base of the discipline, the base of this self-restraint is all about the 5 precepts: not killing, not stealing, not indulging in sexual misconduct, not lying, not taking intoxicants. This is the base of monastic discipline, and even laity's discipline also. All right, that's it I have to share with you today. And I think if you have any questions, it's time for Q&As, and please share your comments. If you have any thoughts, please share with the audience. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask any questions. Thank you so much. Many blessings to you.
Thank you, Venerable Pannaloka. And if you have any question, he's still here, you can ask.
No more questions? At least comments, thoughts? Go ahead.
Well, thank you for a very honest talk. It was very enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Sada.
Bante.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, Jenna, go ahead. I'm
Hello.
happy to see you and your baby also.
Hello.
Yeah.
Bante, I am very tired right now, and I don't meditate as much as I did before.
Right.
So is it okay to practice right now just without Sila, just for some calm, and then later do it with purpose? Because I have so hard time now. I fall asleep a lot when I try. So I try chanting instead, and that helps.
All right. And yes, you can practice the meditation, but it doesn't mean that you are not practicing some kind of Sila. Joanna, you are also practicing some kind of Sila in your life. Why I'm saying like this? Because you are not killing, and you are not stealing. Yes, so are the others. So you are practicing some kind of Sila in your life, and it's pretty easy.
Okay.
But the problem is you are not supposed to practice a kind of sila similar to a way of a monastic life. You can't do that because you are a mom, you are a dear mom, and you are a dear wife, and you have got a lot of responsibilities, and yeah, so many things, relationships with your family members. You have to fulfill these things. So I can now see you. You are having a wonderful time with your baby. You have to care him. You have to. I like this, so many things. But in the meantime, if you find a free time, practice meditation. It could be for 10 minutes. It could be for 15 minutes. But no one can say that you are practicing it without sila. You are, of course, practicing with the base of the sila. Like, why? Because you are not killing. You are not stealing. You're not doing the other things, right? And but for a monastic and a person who is dedicated to the meditation, and he needs to be aware of, how I can say, safeguarding, protecting his, senses. Because if the senses are open, then there is a lot of chance of flooding, unnecessary thoughts, troubles, sufferings, and defilements. That's why I said. That's my answer. Thank you, Joanna. Many blessings to you and much health to your baby also. He's so cute. I love him.
Don't you think?
Is he a girl or a boy?
I have a question. Don't you think it's very hard to
All right,
live?
go ahead.
Don't you think it's very hard, or it's harder living? Let me put it this way. I find it very hard living in society, not living at a temple, than, to practice, because I'm immersed in all of this, sense bombardment. My senses are being bombarded all the time. And then with COVID being inside, I could be meditating all day, but instead I'm watching television because I'm looking for something that's not, like, there's no wisdom in that. I know that there's no wisdom in it, but I'm living alone, so I'm with myself all day anyway, so I feel like I'm in a meditative state anyway, most of the time, or if I'm asleep, but then just to have some interaction, just to have some, but really what you're saying, of course, is true. It's better to not have that interaction, because I'm flooding my mind with all these things. But it seems like, what's the word? I'm overwhelmed. I think living in society makes one overwhelmed. In this society, makes one overwhelmed. I think that it's very hard. I mean, I think, like, I'm looking at where you are at IBMC with the trees in the background and the buildings. I haven't been there in a while, and it brings back all of the, retreats that I went on and studying with Reverend Karuna, and, and right away I get centered just seeing that, and I realize it's such a different experience, struggling. It's like a struggle every moment to keep the peace, you know what I mean? To stay peaceful. So do you feel like it would be harder, say, for you, even if you were not in a temple or not surrounded by other monks, or?
My answer for a question is, it depends on how you perceive things in this world. I mean, how you understand, how you face your experiences in this world. And sometimes for a monastic, he or she would find harder to practice this way of life. But for a lay person, maybe he would not find that much harder. But again, for a monastic, he or she will find it's easy to practice the sila, the morality, that way of a life, being a monastic, because it doesn't have to worry about the other things, right? Because he doesn't have a lot of contact. He doesn't have a lot of troubles. So he's free in one way, but it depends. It depends with how you face the experiences in your daily life. It's up to the person. Yeah, that's my answer. But what we should understand is, if we can practice the morality, whether it is in monastic life or in a lay life, it should need a lot of strength. It should need a lot of strength and also a lot of practice. Yeah, that's my answer. Thank you.
One other quick question. The photograph.
Next brother Nick. Nick can ask the next question. Nick, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Bhante, for your talk. I'm very grateful I don't have to practice or memorize the Vinaya. Thank you for doing that for me.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah.
I have enough trouble with 5.
I also can't memorize all the precepts. I don't like it, but I have studied the precepts, but now I don't remember all these precepts. I try my best to stay calm with my mind, and that's my answer.
Well, thank you. I'm looking again at how I practice the precepts, and kind of just constantly looking at it. And I'm looking at the 3rd precept. I'm a lay person, married, and I read a article the other day from Access to Insight about the 3rd precept was interpreted as celibate in all unwholesome bodily actions. And wow, I can really interpret that in many different ways. Can you speak to that? Maybe a little, give a little clarity, please?
Could you please tell me it again? Because
Sure.
yeah,
it was the 3rd precept.
Okay.
And it was interpreted as saying, I take the precept to abstain from all unwholesome. I take the precept to abstain from all unwholesome bodily actions.
Okay.
Yeah, which is different than saying I take the precept to abstain from sexual misconduct.
Right.
I'm married, and very lucky that I don't have any any need to go outside of the marriage. But an unwholesome bodily action can be me taking sensual pleasure in eating.
Yes,
You know?
and my simple answer for your question is, first you have to be happy with your family life. First, that's the most important thing. And because you have signed for that life, and you are living a life with a partner. So you need to first be happy with that life. But it doesn't mean that that's a problem. Some people, when they interpret these precepts, they give a lot of unnecessary beatings, and then the people they get confused. So if a lay person, then he get confused. There should be a limit. I mean, when they are interpreting these precepts, for a lay person, of course, you have to have a family, right? And you have to have a partner. You have to have a wife, and so you need to be fulfilled. You need to have happiness in that life. But unwholesome, or what I call unskillfulness, depends on how you are leading that life, how you are living your life. And for a marriage life, you are pretty safe, you are pretty okay. But we need to be concerned about there are some other areas we need to be concerned about a marriage life. Like, if we are violating others' rights, and if we are, what I'm trying to say, and it's not good even if it is a marriage life. And we have to take the wish, a lot of things. But if you are practicing the path, true path, Buddha's meditation, being still a lay person, you can. No one can say that you are having unwholesome thoughts. That's too much. I think there are a lot of examples. Even at the time of the Buddha, there were a lot of lay people who lived the lay life, who had a wonderful marriage life, and simultaneously they achieved the highest status in meditation. I mean, not the meditation. They achieved the highest states in the true path, in his, I mean, the further towards the final liberation, like, Sotapannas becoming a stream enterer, and once returner, non-returner, and finally there were, some lay people who achieved the arahantship, who became arahants. Yes, that's my answer. You have to first enjoy your life, because the life is very short. Thank you. All right, the time is coming to an end now. It's almost 12. I don't know whether there are some other questions.
Thank you, Venerable. And I think we don't have time more. By the way, Shraddha, I want to ask whether, Shraddha, you can give a talk last Sunday of the March. Shraddha, are you there?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes.
Yes, can you give the Dhamma talks last Sunday of the March?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay, I believe it's March 28. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sada. Thank you for everybody again. Next Sunday, the first Sunday of the March, Subodha is going to give a Dhamma talk. Subodha. Next Sunday, coming Sunday, which is the 7th of the March, Subodha is going to give a Dhamma talk because we changed for the Kusala to Subodha. Some case. Again, thank you for everybody. Subodha, are you there still?
Yes,
you there?
Yes.
Subodha, next Sunday is your talk, okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Subodha. Thank you for everybody. We're going to chant a little bit, then going to finish the today's service. I hope you all will join next Sunday again. So, by the way, I like to thanks for all the monks here, and Ashan who is doing our computer works, I mean zooming job. And thanks for the Venerable Pannaloka also. Thanks all our members. By the power of the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha, by the power of all the meritorial deed act we did here, and you will be well, happy and peaceful. Thank you again. We're going to chant page 4 and some Pali chanting. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagavāraham samma sambuddho vicca charana sampanno sugato loka vidu anuttara purusha dhamma sarathi sattha deva manussanam buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo sammittiko akaliko ehi passiko opanayiko pacchattam veditabdo vinyo heti supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho ujupatipanno bhagavato Sangha Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Swamiji Patipanno Bhagavato Vaka Sangho Yadidam Chattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Puggala Isa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo anutteram punyakhetam lokasati sabbi buddha balaprada paccekanam ca ambalang arahantanam ca tejena rakham bandami sabbesu. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them all. Deluding passions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them all. Dharma gifts are limitless. I vow to study them all. Buddha's way is supreme. I vow to attain it. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shadow leave, and the sick find health relief. Nengi du kongo poka unyami nyanang kuchinye chinye tadam tadam Nengi du kongo poka unyami nyanang kuchinye chinye tadam Ningi guru kongo buka umone nyadang ujung sene By the power of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, you all be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
All right. Thank you so much, all. Thank you so much listening to my talk, and much peace and much health and much blessings to all of you. Thank you. See you next time.
Thank you, Pannaloka.